it's me, Zoe Hill. So I just want to talk to you today about IBS and fibromyalgia, otherwise known as irritable bowel syndrome. Very, very common with fibromyalgia. It's not only just common with fibromyalgia, it's just a very common thing to have. It can happen at any age. Children can have it, adults can have it. It can happen, it can start at any age. If you've never had it in your life and you suddenly become an older person, it can start. Anything can trigger it off. Generally food, but it can be stress. It can be anything. It's a very, very awful thing to have. It does cause a lot of pain. Very, very uncomfortable. I know I'm not selling it very well, but it is a very, very uncomfortable thing. And if you do suffer with IBS, sorry, I suffer with it, and I do sympathise with you. But I'm just going to go through some things with you today, and hopefully ease it for you a little bit. Okay, so IBS is known as irritable bowel syndrome. It affects underneath your belly button, so that's where your bowel is. Your stomach is above the belly button. What it does is it affects your bowel, not stomach, with cramps. They're very painful. It can bloat, it can give you diarrhea, constipation. It will come and go, and when it comes, you will know about it. It is a lifelong illness. So once you've got it, and there's no getting rid of it. It can develop into other things. So if it's a syndrome, but it can go on to a disease. So if you've got IBS, it can develop into an IBD, which is a irritable bowel disease, like colitis or Crohn's. It doesn't always. It can just stay as IBS. So only because you've got IBS, it doesn't mean that it's going to go on to a disease, but it could do, just so you know. Okay. You get, there is no cure, just so you know, but there are things you can do to ease it. They don't know why you get it, the doctors, you just do. But what some of the symptoms are is gassiness, so lots of trumping. Some people get mucus, so like a thick liquid from your bottom. That gets indicated by when you wipe it. A bit gross, but sometimes it does help with wiping. IBS can cause some tiredness. So if you're already suffering with fatigue, IBS can contribute to that. It can make you sick. You can become very sick with it. It can cause backache as well, and you can also have trouble weeing. You can suffer with incontinence, not incompetence. That's me. Me in this video is incompetent. If you find that you get any lumps in your stomach, or you start losing weight, or you notice any bleeding in your rectum, you must make an urgent appointment with your doctor, because it could be something a little bit more serious. And then you might need to have, I've forgotten what it's called at the moment because I'm getting a little bit of brain fog, but where you have the tube. I forgot, it's completely gone out of my mind. You can definitely tell I suffer with fibromyalgia because it's gone. Endoscopy. And that will diagnose bowel disease. So there you go, a little bit more information for you. So yeah, if you do notice any of those other symptoms, then make an urgent appointment. So to get a diagnosis, your doctor will ask you to do a little sample in a little pot, which isn't very nice. But once you've done that, the doctor will send it away to a lab and be able to diagnose the IBS for you. They sometimes will ask you to do a blood test, and that is to eliminate celiac disease. Okay. Now, once you've been diagnosed with IBS, there are things you can do to help the situation. If you cook homemade meals, that will help. And relaxing. Now, I know that's easier said than done. Living a stressful life for us, especially this day and age. I'm filming this in the middle of COVID, so it's not very relaxing for us all at the moment. But try and relax as much as you can, because that will help your IBS symptoms. Heat on your belly, so those little heat pads that you can get, or a warm towel, they will help, especially if you're suffering with a lot of pain, because that will help relieve that. And exercise. Now, they say if you exercise, that will help your IBS symptoms. Now, I've just said that just because I have to say it, because and it does. Like, if you are used to exercising your stomach muscles, then it will help your IBS. If you've never exercised in your life, then I'm not 100% sure starting exercising is going to overly help your IBS. But if you do it in a gentle way, then it will. And probiotics. Now, that is something that is up in the air at the moment. Some doctors will say probiotics will help your IBS. Some are saying that it won't. So I guess it's one of those where you're going to have to try it and see whether it's going to help you. Okay? So I've said it because some are saying that it will. So with fibromyalgia, you're used to one of those where some doctors will say, yes, it will definitely help. And then some doctors will say, no, or you try it and it doesn't help you. So probiotics is one of those. So the don'ts. Don't skip meals, because IBS, you need 3 meals a day. Okay? Don't eat too fast, because your digestive system needs time to work. Don't drink fizzy drinks, because they're no good for you with IBS. 3 coffees or 3 teas a day is going to be about your maximum. And believe it or not, 3 pieces of fruit for IBS is about your maximum. Now, that's because obviously they say 5 pieces of fruit is what you need a day. But with IBS, now obviously check this out with your doctor, because again, it's one of those things, isn't it? But we say 3 pieces of fruit with IBS. Now, you can follow that if you like. This is only recommended. I'm not a doctor, but they do say 3 pieces with IBS. Now, like I say, they do obviously say 5 pieces of fruit a day, but then they're talking for the general public. You have IBS, so they do say 3. So, do check that out with your doctor, but it is recommended to have 3. But struggling with IBS myself, and I do have a lot of pain, we all know that sometimes you can struggle both sides. So you can have diarrhea one day and constipation the next. So it's very, very irregular. Just do you. You know your body. This is only general advice for people that suffer with IBS. But the pain, heat is very good for putting on your stomach. Hot baths and like rummaging the water over your stomach does help. And just try and live your day the best that you can. This is only advice. You know your body, and you know what's going to get you through. and give the best life that you can have. And that's all we want, isn't it? At the end of the day, the best life that we can have. So any advice I can give you, I will. If you've got any questions whatsoever, I will try and answer them the best that I can. We do have a Facebook group that you can join if you would like to. I'll put the details on if you want them. But we're always here for you. If you would like any information, just let us know. Okay, have a fantastic day. Keep safe and well. Thank you. Bye-bye.